Welcome to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm your host, Alyza, and this is...
Corey, what's up?
And today, we got Chef Jack from Just Jack. Please give it up. I want to give you some edible talk, and you know, we also love coffee here, obviously. So this is fitting because you see what we have. So obviously, before we get into it, Corey, what we smoking on?
Smoking that Droop Pop, that sour.
Yeah.
You know what it is? House arrest. Get that.
Yes. But the coffee is actually...
The coffee is a sativa, of course, because it's coffee, and we got to wake up in the morning. Comes from a woman tribe in Nicaragua. Okay. So the beans were there. And it's a caramel flavored, so it's all about that for me. Flavor in the morning, waking up and being able to function, but having a good dose. And the bag's only 550 milligrams per bag, so you're getting a small dosage for your morning. You could have it straight up or how you like to mix it.
So this is medicated coffee?
Absolutely, because it's all about the dosing for me.
Slightly medicated.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's all about dosing for me. Like I want to get high, yes, but I want to use this medically, essentially.
Right.
Like, and that's what I'm promoting for people to be able to wake up in the morning and skip the Tylenol, but have your coffee or that. For me,
I love it, and you know, we're trying to change the world one day at a time with the plant. Right. Speaking of,
I like gifts.
Yeah.
We got gifts. I like gifts.
Corey jumped right to it. You know, he'd be so excited to get a gift.
Okay, so you put your little bud in here on the side, and then you light that up. It's like a little one-hitter clear.
We're gonna have fun today.
You
Woof!
get up in the morning.
This is
get your little hit.
incredible.
Yo, I love it.
And then you take your sip.
And then you take your sip.
Yo, I love it. And it's my favorite color. Yes, not just because I smoke weed, but green is always my favorite color. So
Mine is lavender.
perfect.
Oh, it looks lovely on my skin.
We gotta start this podcast. I'm not getting into that.
Yes, this is delicious, and then it's that for me.
So I'm actually drinking mine black, and I typically don't, but this tastes delicious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice caramel undertone. It's nice and smooth in the back of your throat, makes you feel good, and you don't taste like, it doesn't taste like a bag of weed.
It doesn't, not at all. I actually don't taste it at all.
Well, you've never tasted actual coffee before because you drown it in creamer and sugar.
I am guilty. I am guilty. Don't judge us. I normally, my regular coffee that I buy from Starbucks or Dunkin' or any of that is super sweet with extra, all the sugar, all the cream. My coffee is the only coffee that I can drink black.
There you go.
Period. Because it just has a different taste. Even all the flavors. Like this one's caramel. I'm working on a vanilla one that I haven't sold out yet. I haven't sold yet, but I'm tasting it, and that one's going to be just as good. It's going to be just the right way that you can have it without nothing else. Because again, you want to get the benefits. I mean, if I am going to add cream, then I'm going to add medicated cream. Because that just means, because today I'm having an extra day. Like my sugar is made with an indica. So therefore, if I'm having extra pain that day, then I might add some sugar to my coffee in the morning or something like that. But for the most part, I'm just going to have the coffee, and then I'll have a few hits because my medicated dose, I only need like 4 pulls in the morning. That gets me on my way. And that's it. And I'm off to the races.
I love that you...
You got a dosing plan.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. But so now you guys know the coffee. If you want to try it, she obviously just explained it. It is delicious. I'm co-signing it. I'm actually going to fuck with it because I think that I could really use a little extra boost in the morning. Y'all know I be going. So where can we find it real quick?
You can find it. I'm on Instagram right now at Chef Just Jack, because you know how the regulations are right now. So it's not on the website. However, you can reach out to me. I always have it. Okay. And just, hit me in my DMs, as the kids say.
All right.
Y'all going to be up in Just Jack's DMs like that.
So, just a warning. Obviously, we're still upstairs. It's still hot as fuck. So, if we're dripping and soaking wet, say what the fuck you want in the comments, but it's hot.
Not what you try to get ahead of it.
And we're drinking hot coffee.
Because I just want them to know, like,
she
I
all
already
sweaty,
know.
why she shining?
Exactly.
Her hair is all
Drinking
poofy.
hot
Like, trust me, I know. You don't have to fucking beat me down more.
Lights, like, leave us alone.
It's hot, okay? We out here trying to get fucking rich. So, speaking of trying to get rich, you doing this business, You have some incredible things going on. I met you a while back at an event, and I was just so intrigued by all of the different products that you made. But then I got to knowing you on Instagram, and you got a whole personality there, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit about the business that you have.
Well, I started doing this all because essentially I was sick. I was just a regular old catering chef doing fancy dinner parties, and like I used to do themed dinner parties where I make people dress up for entry point, like Seven Deadly Sins, Harlem Nights. Those were like the bigger ones that people know me for. And you had to come dressed as a character. If you wasn't dressed in character, you had to pay money to get in. If you were in suit, you can get in for free, and you could have this amazing dinner experience. And I did that for a long time. But when I got sick and I needed to do something else, I was making teas and coffees and stuff for myself. And one of my sisters said, you should make it for me. And I made some wine for her and some tea. And she gave it to someone else in Baltimore, and they invited me to do a dinner party for them. And from that, I just started doing stuff for people, making dinner and playing with the weed and giving it to them. And that was that. From that, it was that. And then my brother was like, well, what are you going to do next? Like, you can't just make sangria. I was buying wine and buying different things and infusing it, because I can infuse pretty much anything you give me. And then he's like, no, you got to figure out how to make it. So I was like, all right, well, give me some time. He said, well, I'll fund it if you know how to do it. So I took 3 months to myself and studied everything I could know about wine and coffee.
Wow. And this is your brother?
Yeah.
So he basically like invested.
And then I came to him. I said, all right, I know how to do this, but I need this and I need that. So he bought me 2 wine kits. And he bought me some raw coffee beans. He said, well I went on I found the website. I've searched many different websites for coffee beans and different raw beans, because to make infuse, no one was infusing coffee. They were just making coffee and then infusing it after, putting it in after. And I was like, well, what if I put it in beforehand? Because if they're making caramel coffee or toffee, it got to be somewhere between the place where I could get the weed in.
Right.
So I studied how to make coffee, just like how to infuse coffee, period, without weed. Just how to make
actual bean.
The actual bean, like how to make the bean caramel, how to make the bean whatever flavor you want, hazelnut. How do they do that? They do that with oils. And so since weed is a conduit of oil, that's what we use. Like, I'm like, oh. So then I started figuring out like how to import flavor oils for coffee beans. I started buying those. I bought some. Then I bought a small couple pounds of raw organic coffee beans. Learned how to roast them, burnt them, smoked my house out. My neighbors had to go. My neighbors like, I'm sorry, it's another house is not on fire. I'm not blown up, but I didn't know when you roast beans and then you toss them, the carbon, poof, it goes everywhere and it's smoky everywhere. It said in the videos I watched to open the windows, but it didn't say I needed to open up all the doors, and it was kind of crazy and wacky, but I learned trial and error, and then it was great. I made the first batch and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't know too much about dosing back then.
Oh, okay.
So then I had to learn more. And then I got sicker, so I had to pause a little bit. And then I started taking a course on dosing from the healer group, actually. And the doctor was a doctor. And all those doctors, they didn't know that I was really, really sick, and that I was using myself as a case study, and that the classes and all the forums I was in and the case studies they were doing and reading, I was using it on myself.
With yourself?
And using weed and edibles and dosing. That's how I learned and how to cure, because I wasn't going to go do these things. I wasn't going to go to chemo. I wasn't going to do all these medical things that they wanted me to do. So I was eating it and rubbing ointments and doing all these things that they say, well, if you do this, you can do that. And by the end, I was fine, but I also was certified in healing and dosing. And so that's when I went back to that. And then figured out how to make it right, so that now.
Yo, you really committed.
Yeah,
this is like
it's a commitment.
It was her life,
and this was my life. What it's supposed to be.
It was my life. My sister, the coffee, like we could talk about that. It's called Liddy Letty Bud Cafe. This first flavor is because my sister, she wasn't my birth sister, but it's tribal for us, people who are people, and she got diagnosed with lymphomatic cancer, and in 8 months she died. Like. We lost her so fast, so quick, with nothing and no way. And she was a big coffee drinker. She was my biggest cannabis advocate. We smoked so much together. But if I knew what I knew now, I could have probably helped her, and I could have did more. So it's like that for me was that. And then when I got sick and I thought I had breast cancer, and then they found out it was my thyroid, and I had to figure it out for myself. And I was like, well, chemo and this. And I'm like, you're not cutting me? Because I know once my sister had surgery 1 month, 8 months later, she was dead. So we're not doing that. Chemo didn't work for her. I watched her suffer. I watched the cyst grow larger and make her miserable. I didn't want to go through that. I said, I would rather figure this out on my own. And so that's what I did. I eat it, I drink it, I studied a lot of things. I figured out my dosage. I figured out from a lot of studies that people were able to either keep the cancer down or eliminate cancer cells from just a mere 24,000 milligrams of cannabis a day.
Yes, the plant is incredible.
Ooh, that's a big ass dose.
But we're thinking about it in smoking.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that big if we're having coffee in the morning.
Essential oils,
ointments, baths, everything.
So what was the end result?
The end result was I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Hold that. Won't he do it?
One time for the plant, motherfucker.
I'm perfectly fine.
Shit.
I went through 2 chemo treatments and hated it and thought I was going to die. And I came home like, I'm never doing that again. I don't even know why y'all let me convince me to do that. Like, why did y'all let me go do that? That would make me feel worse than I felt any day ever.
Yeah.
And so I never did it again. And I just went back to this. And so this is where I am. I am at a point where I'm dosing. That's where I started with the spice line. Because it's also
Spices.
But Apron, you can subscribe, everyone. Again, Instagram.
Yo, the bags are moving.
It's the bag
No,
for me,
I
but
love bag talk.
It's Bud Apron. It's like like Blue Apron per se. So
That's wild. I used to work for them.
Month. You did. I used to cater for them and make like their salads and things. So that's where the whole concept came up in my head with them. Is the spice program. Every month you get a box of 7 spices. It comes with a recipe, so you could use it with all the spices that's in the box.
But they're infused.
They're all infused. Every single spice is infused. It tells you why I chose that. It's a spice of the month, too, inside the box. Ooh. So it tells you why I chose that spice, or turmeric, or this, or what it specializes in, what it could help you with, and so that you could use this for your food. And so this way, now you're not only getting it that way. So, because again, for me, it's the whole plant for me. It's like you have to use it all, and you have to use it organically, else it's not going to work out. You put it with your herbs, your spices, you eat it, you smoke it if you need it, and then that's it.
Super dope.
You really out here healing the world.
Yeah, I'm really, really trying. I'm really, really trying. But, they don't want us to be great. Like, they really don't. With all these regulations they putting on stuff. And so, yeah, it's the haters for me. It's really that for me at this point.
Yeah, I watched my mom she had Graves' disease and had the thyroid and had to get removed and did the chemo and go all that. And when I was young and you couldn't be around her, you were scared of giving her something. Yeah, it was wild. It's all pain in the ass. Yeah, she's fine now though.
Right,
but and she takes edibles.
Oh yeah, got moms on the edibles.
I'm telling you, my even the people I work with, I have a lot of older staff that work when they were angry and always cranking. I was trying to figure out why this lady so cranky. Said my arthritis, I'm standing up all day. I got to talk to these kids. I gave them some edibles and she was fine. Now she's happy. She's dealing with the kids and now she orders them. She's like, I need my candies because I'm just not right. And now her knees don't hurt and everything's good. Like these things work and it's just the stigma behind it. It's that. I don't know. I think it's because people eat edibles and from wrong places that are not properly marked with the dosage or what they should have, and they have a bad experience, and then it's that. It's like, oh, now I don't want to have that because it's bad, and then the hospitals are not prepared to treat people because they don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to hire the people like me or the people that are qualified to deal with people that are coming in greened out from all this new stuff they're trying. They don't know what to do, and they want to just immediately treat you like a dope fiend or treat you with things that you don't need. And it's simply just let them relax and give them some milk. It'll be fine. But again, it's a lot, and this industry will drain you if you don't make jokes. And that's why I joke the way I do.
So tell me about the page that you have, because it's still cannabis related, but it's super comedic.
I'm a comedian at the end of the day. I was always funny. I never really shared it with the world. I just shared it with my friends. But when I got sick and when I was going through stress and this and that, I was like, And then I started watching all the trends and things that was happening. I was like, I should just share my comedic side, because if I show them, then it's easier sometimes to get people to listen to you when you're either really sexy or really funny.
That's true.
And since I wasn't going to get up and, excuse my friend, shake my ass for the world.
Right.
I wasn't going to do that. Yeah, I'm attractive, but I wasn't about to do that.
Correct.
So I kind of use a little bit of both. You know, it's like I get you in with what I look like, what jokes I'm making, to give you the lesson, to tell you that, A, this plan will heal you, B, that Jesus is real, and B, let's get $1. Like, this is what the whole page is essentially about. But I make a lot of jokes. I do. But a lot of the jokes are in truth. Like, I really suffer from anxiety. I really used the weed to help me with that. I really was sick. I really used the weed for that. I really lost a lot of people, and sometimes I'm sad about it. So I break into heaven in my Instagram to talk to people. It makes people laugh. And, you know, and then I get to sell shit to them. So it's cool.
That part. The business.
Like it's the business.
Give them the gram.
It's at Chef Just Jack on Instagram.
Just Jack. Mm-hmm. Yep. Follow.
And it's always hashtag Just Jack, and you can find me at anywhere like that. I'm on Facebook the same way, Chef Just Jack. Instagram. I used to do TikTok, but they banned me. So yeah, you can pretty much find me everywhere, and I'm all over the city. If you need me, you want to book me, I do events. I pop up everywhere with food, with wine, with whiskey. Anything you need, I got it.
I love all of that. While you're at it, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Hit the button.
Definitely.
Yeah, we getting there. And yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly.
All right.
That's the main thing people need to understand. Yesterday, you did a lot of things for free. Today, it's not that.
Right.
It's not.
So you're clearly about your business.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you thought up this whole strategy, because a lot of people don't realize, like, these are strategic marketing and business moves, and although they are, I mean, they're multifold, because they could be like our therapy. Like my Instagram, I do a lot of long form content where I'm very expressive, and it's for the people, but sometimes it's also for me. So it's like you get a bag, but you also get some therapy, but you also get to sell your shit with it too. How did you come up with that?
I have a team that I work with too. She's a one-woman team. I work with a lot of amazing women, believe it or not. And
shout out to the women bosses.
Yeah, she helped me streamline my craziness. Like we like to call her the Wrangler. I have a lot of crazy ideas, and she helps me bring them in to make business sense and figure out, well, if you're gonna do that, then you should sell it like this. And a long time ago, I didn't put myself out there at all. If my Instagram was seen this time last year, it was not me at all. You would only see food. You would see other things, people, food, weed stuff, but me, never, because I didn't believe in that. But she said people don't buy products, they buy the people. Yep. And unless you're going to put yourself out there and show them why, like, why would I buy that cream that you're saying make you look young if I don't even know that you're almost 50 years old? I don't even know that. I don't know you have an old-ass son and your grandma. Nobody knows that about you. So why would they believe you? Why would they believe this if they don't know that you need this for real? So then I just started turning the camera on myself.
There you go.
And that, produced a lot of more sales. It made people actually produce my tribe, and people actually started buying into everything that I talk about. Now it's pretty much anything I talk about. People want to hear it and they want to know because they believe it, because they see me actually living this and doing this every day. And I'm a walking brand for myself. I just bring everything with me all the time. This started as a joke from TikTok. I was the TikTok weed grandma in the robe. I used to make a lot of jokes in my robe and be out and on my porch in the morning with my coffee cup and my blunt and my robe. And that's how my followers got big there. And so from that,
so the robe is it. It's
the
coming.
robe, it had to go everywhere.
Yep.
I would go to an event, like I did the big cannabis convention in Newark. Yeah, it is like your hat, because that's how I noticed you at the other event. From the hat. And if I didn't see it, I'm like, well, where is she? And I do big conventions, and I tried to show up last year in Newark at the convention in my brand, because I wanted to showcase some new merchandise I was showing. But even the host was like, where's your robe? Are you going to put it on after lunch? Like, is that like your next change up? And I'm like, it's like, you know, the people, they want to see you in the robe. You cannot go to the vendor's table interviewing people without your robe, because I was there to do social media for the convention. I was like, you're right. And I told my manager, I said, you told me to leave it home. I had to call my best friend who was an hour away, make him drive down.
For the robe.
To bring the robe. Because it was a 3-day convention, and this was the first day, and I had literally just walked in the building. After me and her were outside arguing for 30 minutes over the robe. And I said to her, I should have bought the robe. And she was like, no, because I'm trying to, you know, you don't have to. She was trying to swerve the brand a little bit to more of what she's doing there with the sexy logos. Yes. And she's like, I don't want to have you always seen in this bathrobe everywhere. Yep. I'm like, but the bathrobe has become a thing, and it's become, I could dress it up, I could dress it down, people want to buy it. Yeah. I can't even find the material to make it right now.
I was just about to ask you, what do you have another
It's coming. I'm planning it so bad, but it's the material for me, and I don't want to half-ass it.
And you got to sell what you would really wear.
Exactly.
Yep, I feel you.
I mean, my son said something to me that was genius, but it's not authentic to me. He said, Mom, you're the only person in the world who's ever felt that robe. People only see it. They've never touched it. They don't know what it feels like. They have no idea what it's given. And you are making a big deal about finding the exact fabric, like they know what it feels like. They don't know. And I'm like, yeah, but in order for me, if I sell them anything, then they have to be able to wear it when I wear it. I'm wearing it seasonal. So the material matters, because that's the reason why I could wear it in summer and winter, because of what it's made of. Yeah. And so it's coming. Finding this material has really drove me insane to get this made. But once this makes, this will be it right here. I probably could retire off this robe alone from the way this thing is set up.
Well, when the time is supposed to come.
Yeah, he's gonna put it in my spot. That's what he does. Like, these coffee cups was a thing. I said, I like those. I want to have my own. And he just made it happen. Even with the whiskey, I wasn't supposed to do that at all, but I love Jack Daniels. I drink a lot of it. I started for me trying to get a Jack Daniels sponsorship.
And it goes with the branding.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was trying to get a Jack Daniels sponsorship because I always bring it to all my events and carry it, and I was like, I'm not going to get it because they don't really sponsor black people, but then they sponsor K. Michelle, so then I got excited.
They don't sponsor weed.
Right. And so then I said, fuck it, I'm going to make my own with the same recipe, and there we have it. Now we have whiskey and has weed in it, and it's mine.
Whiskey, wine, coffee,
spices. Yeah, I have juice too, but I don't really sell juice as much. But I do have a juice line.
You got the whole shit locked in.
I'm trying. If they ever make the market right, then, you know, I could come out and be great.
Ask, what are we talking about that? Like, are you trying to jump in?
I'm trying. I'm playing double dutch with the market right now. Okay. Like, I'm lined up. I got my ducks ready to go. But the edibles, they're not making it right for us right now. Like, it's like really obsolete. It's like candy, gummies, CBD, but spices, it's because they can't figure out how to regulate it, really. They can't figure out how the dosing is going to work. They can't figure out how to drug test people for jobs and things. Like, I think it's like a whole big thing with people eating it. There's no way to regulate that. And so, although I understand their dilemma, it fucks with my situation. Right. So it keeps me on the legacy side of the market, because there's no reason for me to jump in right now. I don't want to just do CBD. I don't want it. There's no benefit to me.
Yeah. I said you like to work with the whole plan.
The whole plan, because I know as a medical professional, you need the whole thing. Yeah. Separating it doesn't really do the justice. Yes, CBD works great for the body, but we know that this the entourage effect that works. And so I won't dumb it down. Yeah. You know, it's like dumbing down myself just for that, and I won't. So I'll wait and see what happens. And my business isn't suffering because I'm not out there with the people. I mean, yeah, granted, I probably could do a lot more if they let me in the wine business, but it's okay. I'll wait, because when it's time.
Yep.
It's hard to get edibles into the legal market.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of stuff go down since, and I've been doing this before there was any markets. That's the funny part.
How many years are we talking?
My son is 25. I started when he was about 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I know a lot about food and edibles and doing this, because that's all I did. I was only doing it for myself. There was no talk about edibles. There was no one. I was doing it. No one was talking about it at all. There was no talk about it. There was nothing. Then it became a big thing, and then people started doing it. then all these markets started popping up, and that's why my manager, who only managed my catering business before, said, you need to jump in here, because if anybody knows anything about edibles, it's you, and you be believable because people know that you've been doing this before it was a thing to do or the fad. There was no fad for you. This is your life, so people will buy it and believe it if you talk about it.
Yeah, you built a real brand behind it, and it's about you, which is the greatest part about it, because it really, we talk about it often on the show, the authenticity behind it. And especially right now, the markets, like people who are consumers, they want to know what they're buying. They want to know the story behind it.
And they want to know who's selling that to them or why. And I feel like it's not a lot of us talking about it and talking about why we're doing this, because then it probably will be accepted more. I think people just see the drug and see like it's a party thing, and it's not that, not for me anyway. And so therefore I would want the world to see it that way, and then it would, then we could be household name with it. And that's the goal. The goal is to be the household name with all the products, like your whole cupboard is full with Just Jack items.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But in a perfect world.
Speak it, no.
In a perfect world.
Speak it into existence. It's coming. I mean, look at what you've done already. This is quite incredible.
I mean,
Quite incredible.
Thank you.
Also, the fact that you have it in the bean, that's the real key right there.
That's the key. That's the part that makes it
that's different.
Good. Because I work with tinctures, I do, because I do go be out and I don't have my coffee and I buy coffee and I put it in, but it doesn't give you the same effect. It's not the same effect at all. I feel like even with the wine, like I could buy wine and put it in there, but it's not the same as making the wine from scratch and starting with the part from the yeast and putting in the sugars, the wheat sugar in instead of the regular sugar, and adding the wheat in with the grapes, having it all ferment together. That just makes the process more authentic and actually brings your high, your flavor palette, like everything. That's what changes all of it. That's why you don't taste the wheat. That's why it doesn't taste like that, because it's not thrown on top. It wasn't an afterthought. It was a thought.
It was intentional.
It was intentional. So therefore,
Yes.
Exactly.
I love it. Yo, congrats. This is really, really.
Thanks for having me. I was trying to get here to you guys. I said, they're over here drinking coffee without weed in it. What kind of nonsense is that?
Had to get us right.
Yeah, to get y'all right.
Listen, right or wrong, because we're going to be looking super faded. Look at Corey looks.
I'm suited.
It's
Completely suited.
It's nice. It's nice seeing it comes nice. You're just like, okay.
He's suited and he got on that fucking jersey. I'm going to let you live.
Go Cowboys.
Absolutely not. But okay.
We don't leave him. We don't leave him alone. House arrest. You know what it is. I'm like you. I stay branded.
Shout out to Drew.
Yeah. I stay about the money. You got to make it make sense. I was the same way. Like in terms of being really, really front facing. I mean, mine was a little bit not necessarily that I didn't want to. I was in the military for a long time, so I was like trying to juggle both.
Got it.
And I also couldn't be like really out front, there while I was doing that kind of work. So for the beginning of my first business, I sort of let it just run with the brand being the brand. But you're right. Once I really infused myself in it and let people know like how the wellness, the different solutions were helping me with the ailments that I had, and even with cannabis after getting out of the military. So all those things, when people see that the story is real and that's not bullshit.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what? I'm telling you, you saw me a few years ago.
You too. Can help you.
The way that stuff was set up, the way them drugs was set up, the opiates, like all that, the way that was set up, it's set up to make you bad. So when you change your life and you start doing things different, it's like, okay, this is it.
Yep.
And then you just tell people, like, I used to do that, but now I do this, and this is what I did. I didn't do anything else.
Yep.
This is what I did. I got high. And they're like, oh, yeah, you got high? Yeah, I got high. Very high. Most of the time. And people say, you're the most relaxed person I know. Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm high.
High.
I'm the most high person.
I'm the most high person you probably know. So that's why when you can tell me anything and I pretty much am able to handle it, I'm like, okay, well, let me think about that for a second. All right, well, we can do this. But I'm never going to freak out. I mean, everybody's in the room freaking out. I'm the calm one. That's why, because I probably ate an edible a few minutes ago. And now I'm too relaxed and I'm not really too stressed out. I'm a really good problem solver because of that.
Good. Yep. High functioning.
High functioning. Very high functioning. I don't know what people always say that. Get too high. What?
Yeah, I'd be so confused by that sentiment.
I saw you said that before. I saw one of your episodes and I said, like, oh, we can't get too high. Huh?
Yeah.
If I'm not high, I can't do anything. Like, I'm not. I'm most creative when I'm high, when I'm trying to build elaborate art tables of food. I go high first. That's the first thing I do. I smoke, I eat an edible, I put my music on, and then I go and create. Yep. I cannot do anything regularly. That doesn't make sense.
Yep. And, I mean, the other thing is you have this, you're putting together product that you're selling. You also are doing Instagram, those videos, right? That's a whole production. People don't know. You have a regular job.
Yes.
So how am I doing all that if I'm so slumped?
Yeah. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm off for summer, thank God, because I work for a school. Shout out to Rutgers, you know.
Are you?
But if I had to work all year round, when I did work all year round, because some semesters I did work summer too, I'm working 60, 70 hours a week in catering and food at Rutgers, and still giving my business 40, 50 hours, still doing Instagrams 3 and 4 times a day, just figuring out a way to work it into my schedule, still doing club appearances. I'm still everywhere that I can possibly be.
Yep.
High as fuck, though. No, it's nowhere. I always have a saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't need sleep. Right now, I just
and you're happy, right?
I'm happy.
There we go.
I'm more happy now than I've ever been. Like, because I get to live my life. Like, I created the life I wanted, and I live it out loud.
Love that.
Like, that's
Love
it.
that.
People always say, you have the same opportunity and time. It's the same amount of hours every day. Yep. You do what you want with the time you make, and live the life you want to live. Like, don't not live your life. Like, don't be not happy. Don't go out, not go out. Don't not visit your friends. Don't not take opportunities. Like, if you don't jump out the window one day, you'll never do nothing great.
Yep.
Right?
You'll never do anything great.
No.
Inspiration. I love it. You're dope, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're super dope. Are we running up You Don't Know Jack? Because
What
today
up,
we have
Two Jacks.
We got 2 Jacks. This is fun. So we're going to get Corey right, but please, chef. I love when I have chefs around because you call them chef and it just sounds so fucking boss.
It's like watching the bear.
I love that.
So, chef, I'm going to have some questions. Generally, they're for Corey, but you
I
are...
can play too?
Yes. I want you to chime in and give us all the education on everything infused. So, this is a great one. Corey, I actually don't know. She might get you on this, but how long does it take for cannabis infused beverages to kick in, and does it vary, like with coffee, alcohol, or tea infusion?
Shoot, I'm not big on
liquids
edibles
are
at all.
almost instant.
At all?
I'm just not big on edibles. I like to.
Well, see,
I like
that's
to
why
smoke.
you're lit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because with liquids, it's almost instant because it goes right under your tongue line to your bloodstream, like almost immediately.
Yeah.
When you eat things, it goes into your bloodstream slower, so it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20, depending on the dosage. But liquids is like almost instantaneous.
There you go.
All right.
It's all right. It's still a Jack answered still.
That's true.
I got backup
You
today.
got your backup today.
He said I can't mess with my batting average, so we're gonna put in a
I got you, I
substitute.
got you, I
We'll
got
put
you,
in
I
the
got
other
you.
Jack real quick.
I got you. Yeah, that's why I like liquids, honestly.
Well, I mean, it does hit you fast. Yeah,
Right away.
It's gonna go.
It's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm here for the party.
Yep.
And so you don't have to worry about knowing how you're going to feel. That's why I always tell people you're going to drink something, take a sip, and step back. And then see how you feel. You feel great, then do it again. If
Yeah.
you feel too bad, then don't do it again.
Right. Don't do it too soon.
Right. Don't do
Like-
it too soon.
Wait.
My coffee cup is empty. I drank all
Oh,
the
this
coffee.
is why.
That's why I'm zooted.
And the reason, well, I hope I don't look zooted, but as you see, I have not lit that blunt.
Oh, that's right. You didn't even smoke.
And I took some coffee. Trying to manage right now.
I love it here. I love it
I'm just
here.
zooted.
Say, doo, doo, doo.
I think between This one and the dab.
I was about to say, after our dab episode, now you're scary. Now you're scary.
We have successfully got them jacked. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Got jacked. Oh,
I love it. We successfully got them jacked. I love it. I love it.
I was gonna say these demonstrations we've been doing. We may want to rethink that shit.
It's a thing that like just people trying to get us fucked up.
Yes, and the point of the show is, we try to make sure we give intellectual perspective, information, education, and that we can do it high. But I feel like I'm fucking up my own theory.
You're doing a great job right now. You guys are doing great right now.
Did you not hear Jack just answer that last question?
Yeah, we're fine. We're good.
Everything's under control.
Just everything is fine here.
Everything's fine. We've been successful.
All right. This is a great one, and this is probably definitely going to be the other Jack. We're going to kick him out today. Share quick tips for calculating the right dosage and potency when preparing homemade cannabis-infused drinks.
That's right.
He said drinks, but to be honest, ChatGPT said drinks. But please just give me in general, because a lot of people don't know how to dose.
All right.
And they also don't know what dosing is.
Okay.
Explain that too.
Well, dosing is finding out what makes you, because, we all smoke socially a lot. We smoke, we pass, and we smoke a blunt until it's the end. But technically, you don't need that medically. Technically, you smoke until you start to feel a little different. Rather, you feel your headache slightly starting to fade, or you feel your body shift. You feel something inside that lets you know that now I am high. At that point, you are medically dosed, and you can put it down. We never do that because we're smoking, socially talking. So in that case, that's dosing in a whole. To figure out your grams, just know that if we're thinking like we all in the street and we buy 1 or 2 grams, 3 grams, 1 gram's like 1,000 milligrams. So just there you have it right there. Your one little eighth, your little 3.5, that's 3,500 milligrams in the edible world. So you know that that's what you're going to put into it. So if you're going to use 1/8 for your butter or your coffee, then you know that you're infusing 3,500 milligrams into your food. So just know every 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. That's the easiest way.
With the math fast.
That's the easiest way, like that, because everybody always does these percentages and this, and it's like, no. The easiest way to remember is 1 gram, 1,000.
Okay.
That's it.
How do you recommend people figure it out for themselves? Like,
I recommend
some people journal and stuff and figure out.
I recommend going on. Usually I recommend you call me and then we talk about this and you pay me. And then I tell you how to dose yourself. But since we're here today, I'll tell you guys.
Woo, getting the gems.
You get the gems. You take a 3-day cleanse, 72 hours of no marijuana products at all.
Okay.
And on the 72-hour day, you bring yourself at the same exact time that you quit. Bring your book and you bring your weed. You got to do it 2 times though, because you got to do it with edibles and with smoking if you do both. And then the first time I did it first with smoking, no smoking, no edibles for 3 days, and then on the 3rd day you have your journal and you light the weed and you smoke it. 1 pull, feel something? No, try it again, and then until you start to feel something, and then when you notice that you feel away, then that's your medical dose, and you write that down. You write how you feel, what you felt throughout the day, and then there are other things that you eat during this 3-day process to activate your endocannabinoid system, because that's what we didn't talk about. People know that your natural endocannabinoid system is in your body, and we have this in our body already that activates the weed, and that's what makes it work, and that's what makes it great. And so when you do your cleanse, you're trying to reactivate your endocannabinoid system naturally. So you do that, and you eat all the things that will naturally do that, from your walnuts to your green teas. You're drinking that, so you're not feeling totally, because if you smoke for 20 years, you're definitely going to feel a little rehab from not smoking or eating for 3 days. But if you do these other things like eating your walnuts, drinking your green tea, all the things that will naturally activate your endocannabinoid system, you won't feel like you're going through rehab. And once you smoke, you get to your dosage. You do that, and then come back, you'll be fine. You figure out your medical dose. That's how you do that. You can do that for the edibles the same way. 3 days off, and then slowly eat your edibles and see what it is. 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams. I know for me it's 7 milligrams of candy in the afternoon for lunch. That will get me through my afternoon so that I don't have to dose again until I get off work, especially if I'm working a banquet, because I'm on my feet for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
besides my coffee in the morning and my 4 pulls in the morning, in the afternoon, I have my 7 grams of candy and 3 more pulls of a blunt. And now I'm good for till the evening.
Well, there you have it. You better go fucking like, comment, and subscribe, because that was the illest gem.
Yeah.
She told you exactly what you needed to do to figure out how to medicate yourself. We're not talking about socially smoke.
Yeah, no.
We're talking about medicating yourself
Anybody
to be able to sustain throughout the day.
More you need to actually sit down and talk to me about, because I am certified and
Go and
licensed
give the plug.
to do
I'm here
that.
for the
I'm
business.
definitely certified and licensed to do that. We come, you bring your prescriptions, you talk about what you have, we sit together, we figure out your plan on edibles, ointments, smoking, or what to do, like a regular doctor, except
That's it.
it's the weed doc. Just call me Dr. Jack, and we figure out what you need, and then go from there.
That's it.
Of course, your consultations will cost you, but of course, you got to invest in yourself and figure out what's best for you. And if you know that you're not going to be able to figure out your own dosage, you're not really that mathematically inclined or care to do that, but you want to be well, hi, I'm here. My name is Jack. I will help you. Come see me. But don't come if you're not going to want to complete the process.
Ooh, that part.
Because you have to be able to do it. It's a whole thing between, eating well and doing your fitness journey and journaling and everything. It's a process to be well.
Yeah, these are definitely life transitions that you have to be very intentional about.
Yeah, the whole process is intentional, and if you're not intentional about it, then it's not going to work out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, this
I'm
is
sure.
good. I see.
I like it here. I like it. I like to go places and get people high and tell them things. It's fun. Job well done today, Jack.
You did.
Well done.
Yes. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
For coming. Yeah, this has been super dope.
To come and see the dispensary.
Oh yes.
Oh, you definitely
Bring
invited.
you guys
Coming
some
soon.
products.
Because
Yes.
listen, this is actually good, because where we're sitting right now is our future consumption lounge.
Yeah.
So when they get these little situated, we got a lot of situations that I think would be very welcome here.
too. Like, we can talk about this.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
We're gonna make some things happen. So
Yes.
I appreciate the opportunity to be able to get to know you better.
I appreciate the
and know your
opportunity to
story.
share and
Thank you.
to educate and give people some more things to know, because if we don't share, I always say a friend with weed is a friend indeed. And so I'm glad to share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hashtag that. Listen, thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm still not right with the outro. I'm
good. I'm ready today.
You remember this motherfucker just gotta say peace. Thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, and please tune in next week for Higher Thinking with Coffee and Cannabis.
Peace.
Bye.
I nailed my line.
Yes, you did.